Hi all and welcome back to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life story with autism and mental health along with tips and advice and a host of other variety of videos that you may have seen. So if you want to join me on this journey with me to create a certain awareness and understanding as well as advocating for mental health and autism, feel free to smash that subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner, and once you do so, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos, as I usually post Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but that may subject to change. So as you're aware, basically I am now getting off the topic of grief and loss, and I am doing some more autistic related videos for now, hopefully of certain varied topics to tidy up. So these ones obviously are going to be the therapies and interventions, and just as a disclaimer, as always, I'm no medical doctor, I'm just your normal everyday Joe blog. So if you see anything out of the ordinary, please seek professional help for yourself or your loved one, or seek second opinion for yourself or your loved one, because I don't condone self-harm. So as I'm saying, therapies and interventions, there are many different therapies and interventions, and I just did a quick brief introduction about it, of hopefully what I might cover in some little subtopics of the interventions and therapies based on my research and maybe based on my experiences. And as a trigger warning, there will be some topics that may not be helpful or useful to some of the autistic community, because as I said, I'm trying to respect you guys, but in the way of what we've discussed or I've heard about on the autistic community groups that I've been in, especially for this applied behaviour therapy analysis that's coming up now, that's hopefully only going to be 2 parts to this for you guys, as well as for many others that wants to know more. And as I said, basically, that hopefully in saying this, you can respect in the comments with this particular touchy subject, because I have done my research and I'll be hopefully sharing my afterthoughts with this or some other things on top of this. So let's begin this for the very first part of it, as it reads in the title: what is applied behaviour analysis therapy and why is it bad for autistic children? There has been many questions lying about for this, especially for these 2 questions, and it tends to basically at this point in time create a bit of misunderstanding, maybe misconception, and a bit of prejudgment, cool, of mixed feelings and emotions based on this touchy subject that I'm sharing right now. But applied behaviour analysis is defined as, or has been considered as, the golden standard of care for autistic people in the United States and many other countries worldwide. But many people feel that applied behaviour analysis is abusive and harmful. Many people think it's doing more harm than good for autistic children, however. Based on the everyday theories of operant conditioning, if you've heard of it in the world of science, as well as radical behaviourism, applied behaviour analysis techniques are aimed at changing behaviours through reward and punishment. Applied behaviour analysis therapists enforce behaviour modification with a rewards-based model and systematically encourage social behaviours that have been deemed appropriate and acceptable by the caregivers and the intervention team that is associated with this. Henny Kupferstein quotes that behaviour analysis begin by consulting with the parents and interacting with the child, determining which behaviours should be stopped or diminished and which behaviours should be taught and increased. Then may make a plan to teach the desired behaviours by reinforcing them while also punishing undesired behaviours. And it has been known for this also, basically, for one of the unwanted behaviours, as we know, for many of us autistics that needs to do it, is stimming. As I have mentioned clearly so many times before about the series of stimming, which I'll link in the icon above me and below me as well. With the goals like teaching children to play, socialise and generally behave correctly, parents and caregivers may be drawn to applied behaviour analysis therapy, promises of normalcy. But don't be fooled, however. Changing your child's autistic behaviour is harmful to everyone that is involved. As I said, because obviously I believe, after researching, that especially since some therapists and that say stimming shouldn't be allowed, and many stand social society today don't still accept us autistic stimming. But as I said, some people, as a form of encouragement, I encourage stimming regardless, because obviously it's a form of release for us when we're in stressful situations or in a stressful environment, especially depending, so that we shouldn't be withholding that, as well as many other things. There are a list of reasons why applied behaviour analysis is considered harmful, is so extensive after my research, but the key points are as follows to what I want to share today. Applied behaviour analysis is expensive and not accessible for many people. Applied behaviour analysis is intensive therapy with children often being prescribed 40 hours a week of active learning behaviour modifications. The origins of ABA are extremely disturbing. ABA is closely related to and originated alongside gay conversion therapy. Many people feel that ABA is akin to dog training, but for humans, while others feel that dog training is more humane. ABA teaches children to stop their self-regulating behaviours, as I just said before, of their stimming. ABA teaches children that their feelings will be ignored and do not have value whatsoever. ABA forces children to endure painful and upsetting stimuli without complaining or attempting to comfort themselves. While in ABA, children aren't allowed to say no or to refuse any part of the program that is given to them, which raises concerns about the importance of teaching children consent. ABA therapy uses abusives ranging from disapproval and rejection to spanking and slapping all the way to electric shocks. ABA has been linked to PTSD, and studies have shown that there has been an increased rate of PTSD in autistics that have been involved in ABA. Well, this quickly ends a real short overview of what this is. Smash the like, comment below if you want to share your viewpoints on it, but be kind in the comments, especially after I'm sharing this 2 parts hopefully. And also saying this, basically, do what you love what you do. Until next time, I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now. Saying this, don't forget that I have got a merch store that I'm trying to hopefully add a bit more, the Patreon account. For those of you who are new today, Patreon is like a subsidy account for us creators, be it music creators, content creators that are doing mental health or water form. It is that they're using as a form of the platform on YouTube, Twitch, or wherever else they may likely to fly about. Basically a bit about giving back to you guys when you do support. So if you feel to donate to me, big or small, no pressure basically, but it'd be much appreciated if you did. But hey, this will cover my cost of my rent, the travel when I do some more traveling with Aspie series, or just traveling in general, as well as maybe better recording equipment, so to speak, with the camera setup and whatnot, so that I'm not solely relying on my phone and many other parts that were thing. And in saying this, with the Patreon account, basically you'll see that I've been trying to do some benefits and ties for you to give back to you as a thank you for, you know, journeying with me, even though some of it will be maybe for free, some of it, you know, maybe need out of my pocket to send you guys certain stuff, be it if it may be if you do donate to a certain amount, merch of your choice, versus basically maybe if I can afford to print out a copy of my book that I did 3 years ago, if you're interested in reading my life story more there. And I'm saying this also just to let you guys know down that I've got some projects in the works that I'm still hoping that if anyone wants to participate for project number 1 of the Journey Through the Mind series that you may have seen, Lydia, who was the first participant from Life with Lydia, basically sharing her life story. So I'm hoping to do short blurts of documentary style stories basically based on this. And in saying this, basically, if you want to be on the bandwagon in any way for that, feel free to comment below. As well as saying this, the second project of it was supposed to be an icebreaker for you guys, just to answer a series of questions. And if you do decide to come back for the second part of that Journey Through the Mind series to be a more depth storyline, please feel free, because I'm hoping later today, if all goes to plan, and I'm hoping to maybe get someone on the side to maybe animate them or what have you. And I'm saying this also, if you've seen some of my other videos, be it through my, you know, poetry, my baking with Aspie and everything else, please let me know what you would see more of, because at this point of time, it's all about giving back to you guys regardless. But I know I should be focusing solely on mental health and awareness and acceptance and inclusion as an advocate, but I would like to try and bring in some mixture of things so I don't, you know, bore you guys, so that you can just, instead of getting to know me, maybe getting to know others that were interested in coming into play. And then there's also just a heads up, basically, I was hoping in the works later today to do a second part of my book that I did based on my life of an Aspie, looking through the life of Asperger's syndrome or something along those. I'll link the link in the description below based on that as well, so that if any one of you that are maybe autistic and are from the autistic community groups and you're interested in participating, let me know, so that maybe we can get the ball rolling and get the short stories done and up as well as a third part of my book series, because I'm still thinking that there are certain topics I may have not touched base on from the first part of my book of the journey through life with Asperger's syndrome of mine. And to wrap it up, basically, I have some other funding pages, like basically GoFunding or some other funding page that I've got, that if you're interested in maybe doing it through there instead of through basically Patreon. But as you know, Patreon and this other one, you have the option of PayPal and just insert bank account details and whatnot. I'm also saying this also, I'm trying to keep my blog up to date so I can create it as a website hopefully as of before next year, because that's my main goal. I'm still looking for someone who is willing to actually maybe help me design it from WordPress to actually put this web address in and stuff and tidy it up so that we can actually put other bits and pieces in that you may want to see on there, so to speak, if you've seen it, sort of thing. You know, hopefully you're enjoying some of the read-ups of what I write, even though it's similar to what I share with you guys of certain videos I may have put out, sort of thing. So it's easier for you guys when you come onto my WordPress site, that if you're a visual person instead of like a reader person, some of it is similar, but it should hopefully have some bits and pieces. And also in saying this, I'm at this point of time been away for a few times too because of the subtitling I'm doing. I hopefully you enjoyed this video, and do what you love what you do. Until next time, I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.